The cover test is performed at 1/3 of a metre for near and 6 metres for distance. The cover test is an objective test used to detect or diagnose an ocular deviation in a patient with strabismus. Equipment needed to perform the test: an accommodative target, an occluder, a distance target, and a pen light. The Hirschberg test is performed prior to the cover test. It gives an indication of any manifest strabismus present prior to testing.
There are 3 components to the cover test. The first being the cover component. This is where you observe the patient's uncovered eye to see if it takes up fixation. Here is an example of what you might see on the cover component of a cover test. Notice how the uncovered eye moves to take up fixation. In this case, the patient has a left exotropia and the left eye moves inward to take up fixation. Secondly, we perform the uncover component. This is where you observe the position of the covered eye once the cover is removed. Here we are looking at the latent deviation. Here is an example of what you might see on the uncovered component of a cover test. Notice how when you remove the occluder from the covered eye, it moves to take up fixation. In this case, the patient has a left esophoria, and when you move the occluder from the left eye, it moves outward to take up fixation. The final stage of the cover test is the alternating component. This is where the occluder is moved between eyes, always maintaining dissociation. Here we are looking at the complete manifest and latent deviations combined. Here is an example of what you might see on the alternating component of a cover test. Notice how the occluder is moved to maintain the dissociation between the 2 eyes. This allows us to observe the maximum deviation of both eyes. In this case, the patient has a right esotropia.
Hi Roberta, come on in. Thank you. My name's Stacey and I'll be doing the cover test on you today. Focusing on the letter O for me. Tell me the next letter.
H,
Yep. Next one.
T,
Next.
O,
Yep.
T.
Perfect. See straight ahead at the letter O for me. Yep, just keep looking at that. Keep looking at the O.
Here are some examples of patient recordings. Cover test without correction, at near and far, no vertical and horizontal deviations. Or cover test without correction, esophoria at near with rapid recovery.
The advantages of the cover test are: it's quick and easy to perform, has a high degree of clinician repeatability, it accurately measures deviations in all positions of gaze. The cover test is an objective test requiring low levels of cooperation from the patient. If a subjective response is given, it can prove valuable in additional information.
Some of the disadvantages of the cover test include small angle phorias of up to 3 diopters are easily and often missed during cover testing. It also requires considerable amounts of practice before accurate observations can be suggested, and is unable to measure excyclotropia or encyclotropia and phorias.